You might think your TSP is fully under your control, but when it comes to withdrawing your money, that is not entirely true. The moment you start pulling money out, the TSP forces what's called a pro-rata withdrawal rule into play. My wife remembers every single thing I have ever done wrong, but even her memory is shorter than the list of reasons this rule is a bad idea. So to start with, the core of the problem is that the TSP does not let you pick and choose which fund your money comes from when you make a withdrawal. And you might think that since it is your money, you should have the right to say which pile it comes out of, but the system does not work that way. When the market is moving up and everyone is happy, you might not even notice. But when things get ugly, like that downturn that we just saw in March when the war with Iran kicked off, the flaws in the system become very clear. And it's a strict way of doing things that ignores what's actually happening in the world. So let me give you an example. Let's say your allocation is 50% in the C fund, 10% in the I fund, 10% in the S fund, and 30% in the G fund. You log in and request a $10,000 withdrawal. The TSP is going to take $5,000 from the C fund, $1,000 from the I fund, $1,000 from the S fund, and $3,000 from the G fund every single time. Even if the stock market just dropped 15% and you would much rather leave those C fund shares alone so they can recover, right? Now, imagine what it would look like if the TSP gave us the ability to withdraw from a specific fund. And if we had 70% in stocks and 30% in bonds during a downturn, we could pull all of our living expenses straight out of the G fund or bonds and let those stock funds like CS and I funds sit there and recover and completely avoid locking in those losses. And that's called avoiding sequence of returns risk. But the fact that the TSP forces the pro-rata rule makes that almost impossible to do cleanly inside a plan. And this is a big problem because it leaves you completely unable to protect your portfolio during a market slide. And you're basically standing there watching your hard-earned money or savings get sold off at a discount. Usually, the goal is to buy low and sell high, right? The pro-rata rule forces you to do the exact opposite during the market downturn. You're selling your stocks right when they're at their lowest points just because you need some cash for groceries or a mortgage payment. It's a backward way to manage a retirement account, and it can be incredibly demoralizing to watch. And when you're forced to sell stocks while the market is down, you're locking in those losses, and those shares are gone forever. And they're not there to catch the wave when the market eventually turns back around. And this is why people get so worried about the sequence of returns risk. It's not just a buzzword. It's a mathematical reality that can ruin a retirement. And if you take out money when the market is high, your account can handle it. But if you're forced to take it out when the market is low, you're taking a double hit. You lose the money you withdrew, and you lose the future growth those shares would have provided. And if you're watching this and thinking, I'm not 100% sure I'm getting this right, you're not alone. And I retired from the military after 20 years, and I deal with the TSP almost on a daily basis. And these decisions can have long-term consequences, and getting clear on the plan really matters. And that's exactly why I've started opening up a small number of spots again in my private client program. And this is where I work with you one-on-one to walk through your specific situation and make sure you actually have a plan that makes sense for you. And I keep this very limited on purpose so I can give each person the attention they need. And because of that, spots tend to fill up quickly. So if you want to be first in line when they open, you can join the waitlist using the link in the description or the pinned comment. So with that said, let me go back to the sequence of returns risk. To put it simply, early retirement withdrawals combined with a market downturn equal long-term damage. And it's like trying to run a race with a heavy backpack while someone is actively taking the air out of your lungs. And every dollar you pull out during a bad year counts for way more than a dollar pulled out during a good year. And it puts a strain on your total balance that is very hard to fix later on. You're essentially cannibalizing your future self to pay for your current self, and the TSP rules are the ones handing you the fork. And even if the market eventually recovers and goes on a tear, your portfolio might never get back to where it should have been. And you sold off too many shares at the bottom, so you have fewer soldiers on the field to participate in the recovery. And this is the part that keeps people up at night. You can do everything right for 30 years, and then 2 bad years at the start of retirement, combined with those forced withdrawals, can change your lifestyle for the next 20 years. And it's a serious risk that requires a serious workaround. And you can check out the separate video I did on the sequence of returns risk, and I'll put that link in the description below. And one of the best ways to get around this mess is the TSP-to-IRA rollover strategy. And you can take a portion of your traditional TSP or even the whole thing and move it over to a traditional IRA. And this is a move that a lot of guys in their 50s and 60s start looking at as they get closer to that retirement date. And it's all about taking back control, right? And once that money is in an IRA, the TSP rules no longer apply to those specific dollars. You become the boss of that money again, which is exactly how it should be. And that's where things start to shift in your favor. Inside an IRA, you have the freedom to choose exactly which investments to sell. If the stock market is crashing and you need $10,000, you can tell the IRA custodian to sell $10,000 worth of bonds and leave your stocks alone. And you're not forced into that pro-rata trap. And this allows you to be surgical with your withdrawals, and you can protect your growth assets while using your safe assets for income. And on top of that, an IRA also lets you control your tax strategy with a lot more precision. You can manage your brackets and figure out exactly how much you want to realize in income each year without the TSP's rigid structure getting in the way. And most importantly, you avoid those forced sales of stocks during a downturn, which means full flexibility that the TSP simply does not offer. But here's the catch, and this is a big catch. You have to be careful about the rule of 55 for those of you with a traditional TSP. If you retired early at age 55, moving all of your money from the traditional TSP to a traditional IRA might actually be a bad move. And here's why. The rule of 55 allows federal employees and military members who leave service in the year they turn 55 or older to take penalty-free withdrawals from their traditional TSP. And if you move that money to an IRA before you hit 59 and a half, you lose that early access without the penalty. And you will be stuck waiting until you're nearly 60 or paying a 10% penalty to the government. And that's surely a high price to pay for flexibility, so you have to time it right. And there's another situation where the rollover might not be the best idea. If you plan on keep on working after you leave the federal government or the military service, and your income is high enough to put you over the Roth IRA income limits, you need to be very, very careful. And that's because rolling your traditional TSP into a traditional IRA can create separate issues if you ever want to do a backdoor Roth IRA later on due to the IRS's pro-rata tax rule. And it's a different kind of pro-rata trap, but it can be just as annoying if you're trying to maximize your tax-free growth. And you can check out my other video about the backdoor Roth IRA process, and I'll put that link in the description below. Now, the good news is that you do not have to go all in or one or the other. You can do a partial rollover. You can move some of your traditional TSP to a traditional IRA while leaving enough money to take advantage of the rule of 55. So this gives you a foot in both camps. Now, you keep the early access to your cash in the TSP, but you get the investment control in the IRA. And it's a hybrid approach that solves a lot of problems for guys who are calling it a career in their mid-50s. So here's an example. And by no means is this specific financial advice, because your personal finances are very personal for a reason. So say you have $1 million in your traditional TSP. You could decide to roll $600,000 over to a traditional IRA. And that specific $600,000 will no longer qualify for the rule of 55 under the traditional TSP. So you will need to wait until you're 59 and a half to touch it without a penalty inside a traditional IRA. But that leaves $400,000 sitting in your traditional TSP, sitting in G fund or bonds. And that $400,000 still qualifies for the rule of 55, giving you plenty of runway to cover your expenses until you hit that magic age where all the rules loosen up. It'll depend entirely on how much you want to withdraw for the 5 years to take advantage of the rule of 55 inside your traditional TSP. And some people use this exact strategy to completely bypass the pro-rata withdrawal rule. And they might leave something like 30% or 40% of their total balance inside the TSP, depending on their needs. And they keep that money in the G fund or other stable options. Then they take their monthly or annual withdrawals from the TSP under the rule of 55. And since the money in the TSP is mostly in safe stuff, they're not worried about selling stocks at a loss. And it's a way to manufacture your own specific fund withdrawal, even though the TSP says you can't. Meanwhile, you take the other 60% or 70% of your balance and roll it into an IRA. You invest that portion into funds that match the CS&I funds or stock funds. Now, an IRA will not have those exact names like CS&I funds, but you can find those index funds that do the exact same thing. And you let that money sit and grow in the stock market inside your IRA. And while those stocks are growing, you're spending the safe money from your TSP. And you have successfully separated your spending money from your growing money, which is the secret to a stress-free retirement. But I need to be very clear here. And this is an extremely complicated strategy. And it's not something you just jump into because it sounds good on the video. You really have to sit down and run the math. You have to look at your tax brackets, your expected spending, and your age. And if you mess up the timing or the amounts, you could end up with a tax bill or a penalty that wipes out the benefits. And it's a great tool, but it is a sharp one. So don't use it without a clear plan and a solid understanding of the numbers. And just a quick side note for those of you with Roth accounts, you can also do a Roth TSP to Roth IRA rollover. And this allows you to take out your Roth TSP contributions tax-free and penalty-free in retirement inside your Roth IRA, even if you're younger than 59 and a half. But this might not be the right move if you do not have a large amount of contributions, or if your main goal is to let that Roth money grow for as long as possible. And I actually have a whole separate video on the Roth side of things, and you can check that out in the description below. Now, if the rollover sounds like too much work, there is a second solution. You can do a manual reallocation right after you take a withdrawal. And this is a way to choose your withdrawal source manually through a bit of a workaround. And that's not perfect, but it works if you're staying inside a TSP system. You're basically doing a dance with your account balance to fix the mess the pro-rata rules just created. And it takes some effort, but it can save your portfolio in a down market. For example, you want to take $10,000 out and you want it all to come out from the G fund. And let's say your current balance is 70% in the C and 30% in the G fund. And when you request that $10,000, the TSP is going to take $7,000 from your C fund and $3,000 from your G fund, right? So to fix this, you wait until the very next day once the withdrawal is processed, and you go back into your account and move $7,000 from your G fund into your C fund using a TSP interfund transfer, which means you're basically buying back the stock shares you were forced to sell. And the point is, the timing on this is everything. You have to be strategic because the TSP only processes requests after the market closes for the day. And also remember that the TSP limits you to only do 2 unrestricted interfund transfers every calendar month. And if you make a withdrawal on a Thursday, but you don't get around to submitting your transfer request until Friday, it might not happen until Monday now. Now, a lot can happen in the market from Friday to Monday, so you have to be on top of your game and move quickly to make sure you're buying back in at roughly the same price you sold at. But there are definitely some downsides to this manual approach. And first of all, you have to plan ahead. You cannot just set it and forget it. You have to be active in your account every time you take money out. There's also the risk that the market moves significantly between the time you sell and the time your transfer settles. If the market jumps 3% in one day, you're buying back in at a higher price. It's a hands-on strategy that's not really fun if you want a frequent income stream. And if all of that sounds like a headache, the best defense is often a good offense. I always suggest building a separate cash buffer outside of the TSP. You should keep somewhere between 1 and 3 years of your living expenses in a high yield savings account, a money market fund, or other cash type accounts. And this is your sleep well at night fund, which gives you a place to get cash without ever having to touch your TSP when the market is acting like a roller coaster. In other words, it's the ultimate shield against the pro-rata rule. Now, I have a specific rule of thumb for how much cash you should have. And if you're retiring with a pension, you should have at least 12 to 18 months of expenses tucked away in cash. If you're retiring without a pension, you need to be more conservative. So I would suggest having 24 to 36 months of expenses sitting in a safe spot. That might sound like a lot of money to keep out of the market, but the peace of mind it gives you, it's worth every penny because it gives you the power to wait out a bad market without feeling the pressure to sell. And by having this cash buffer, you avoid touching your TSP entirely during those ugly downturns like we saw in March. You can let your investments sit and recover while you live off your savings. And this is how you win the long game. You're not a victim of the pro-rata rule if you're not taking withdrawals from the TSP while the market is down. And you're basically taking the TSP out of the equation during the risky years. Even if you only avoid a few bad years of forced selling, it can significantly improve how much money you have left after 20 or 30 years of retirement. So at the end of the day, the TSP is still one of the best retirement plans out there. And it has low fees and it has been a great tool for building wealth for millions of us. But this pro-rata withdrawal rule is a real challenge that can trip you up if you're not paying attention. You cannot just cruise into retirement on autopilot and expect everything to be fine. You have to understand the quirks of the system so you can navigate around them. The rules might be rigid, but your strategy doesn't have to be. And the key to all of this is simple. You need to plan ahead and build some flexibility into your life. Don't rely on the TSP as your only source of cash or your only withdrawal strategy. Whether you use an IRA rollover, counting your pension income, the manual reallocation dance, or a solid cash buffer, you need to have a plan in place before the next market crash hits because it will happen again. If you're planning to retire soon, this is the time to get your ducks in a row. Don't wait until you're already taking withdrawals to realize the pro-rata rule is working against you. Now, I am curious to hear from you guys on this one. Did you actually know about this pro-rata rule? Or were you planning on just taking your money out and assuming you could pick the funds? Drop a comment below and let me know what your plan is for handling this. And if you've been looking to work with me directly, here's your chance. The private client program spots are reopening. I don't know exactly how long the window will stay open. So if you are serious about your retirement planning, get on the wait list at the link down in the description below. And this has been another piece of a video and I hope you got a lot out of it.